I don't know if you guys saw the videos that we've been posting on LostArtsRadio.com recently from Mike, whose last name is Adams. I'm sure you've heard of him. He's very popular. He's a good friend of ours. And he's been saying some things that some people think are a little bit extreme, that the global rulers, the globalists, intend to kill about 90% of all people on Earth. That would be 90% of 7 billion, which is more than 6 billion of us. And some people are saying, no, that couldn't possibly be true. How would they make enough money? You know, they'd mess up the whole economy, and there wouldn't be enough of us to work to make them rich anymore. So I wanted to say a couple of things about that just for a minute here and clarify what I think he's talking about and what I would add to it. They're not doing it for money, okay? They've already got the money situation wrapped up. They're in charge of the central bank system and the money system, the fiat money, the fake money that the central banks control. They're already using that to steal the wealth of every country around the world. That's not their objective in the long run. So Mike says they're going to kill more than 6 billion people. What I've found in decades of investigation of this stuff, you know, starting a long time ago, is that this is not, the end game of this is not money. Money is used by the top people, the top few individuals and families at the apex of the global power structure to control the servants that they have below them. It keeps all of us at the lowest level working constantly to try to survive, or if we're taking welfare, to satisfy all the conditions of the welfare that they expect in return. It just takes all your attention so that you can't really do anything that would be a threat to the power structure. At a little bit higher than where we are on the pyramid is the corporate bosses, who are all excited about endless increases in their wealth, financial wealth and power and perks, and getting to go to all these satanic parties and things. Above that, above the top level bankers, are those that know what they're really doing, which is, in my opinion, I disagree somewhat with Mike, because I don't think that exterminating 90% of the humans is what they're after. That is a step. That is one thing that they're planning on happening. But I think it's on the way to a bigger goal, which is extermination of all life on the planet. And people would say, well, why is that? Why would they kill their own families and themselves? And they, you know, most people couldn't imagine a plan to do that, which I think is their plan, along with the other life forms on the planet. And at the risk of sounding a little bit outside the box here, and maybe hard to imagine that I'm telling the truth, what I feel like I have to share with you what I found over a lot of long years of research and investigation, with no preconception, no label to defend, no left or right or party or anything that I'm giving my allegiance to. I just want to know whatever's true, even if it goes with whatever I think is likely to be true. I don't care. I just want to know what's the reality. And from what I can tell, the real globalists at the top of the power structure are carrying out what they see as a ritual ceremonial sacrifice, and it's based on the old doctrine of sacrifice that you'll see in many scriptures, and that boils down to the idea that if you kill an innocent being and you do it just right, by the right steps and the way God wants you to do it, right? Whether it's the members of a religion you don't agree with, or an innocent animal, or a person that you see as an innocent sacrificial offering, you do that just the right way and you get spiritual benefit as the person doing the so-called sacrifice. Now, calling that a sacrifice is really kind of a misleading term, because the one doing the sacrifice is the one getting killed, right? The other person's just a murderer. So anyway, this is supposed to make God really happy with you, and the globalists believe in it, and they think big, right, on their scale anyway. And they're thinking, okay, if sacrifice is really great, it's what God likes, and of course they think the real God is this dark power that they worship. What is going to get us the most benefit? Oh, I know, kill everything. That's exactly seriously what they have decided, and they're doing it, and you can see the evidence of it everywhere. If you want to tie together the apparently separate agendas of chemtrails and drug medicine and vaccines and toxic agriculture, you know, this idea that you have to poison your food before you eat it to feed the world, really brilliant, right, that we would fall for that. All these different things, nuclear power, dirty energy technology, when we've had free and clean energy available for more than 100 years, it's being hidden, just like the water car is hidden and all that kind of stuff. We're not supposed to find out about it. It's not that there's a shortage of oil or coal or anything, it's just that there have been much better things available for a long time. All these are tied together by the overall theme, motive, and agenda, which is ceremonial sacrifice to exterminate by the numbers all sentient beings on the planet, which is everything. You can tell they're not trying to save it for an elite remnant. That makes no sense. And sorry, Mike, with great respect, I have to disagree with you on that idea of the end point. They wouldn't be corrupting the genetic material of the whole planet with this GMO program, which is much deeper than what we know about publicly. They wouldn't be destroying the atmosphere of the planet with the spraying and geoengineering, which is made to cause climate disruption. And there's so many things they would not be doing if they wanted to save Earth as an inhabitable environment. So they're not doing that. I really think that's what's happening, and I've looked at this for a long time from a lot of different perspectives. That does not mean that they'll succeed, but it can give you insight into how all these different agendas fit together. Now, what they don't want you to do is find out how all those fit together and why they're doing it, where they're coming from, what they plan to do with all these engineered diseases and everything. But that's nothing compared to what they really don't want you to find out about, which is who you actually are, which is not this costume that you're wearing, which is a wonderful, conscious, self-aware, self-healing, intelligent costume that communicates with us all the time, and we could be doing the same thing. No, it's who we really are. Before you put on this costume, before you put on any costume, before there was anything so-called physical matter, which is really mostly empty space, but that's another story. Who you are, who you've always been, who you could become consciously again. And if you did, the formerly normal abilities that all of us used to have would just completely dwarf anything that these impressive tyrants running the world could possibly do. So the biggest taboo, the biggest secret, the thing that you're never supposed to find out is who you are, because if you realize that, not in logic or anything, but not just there, but in experience, what opens up to us to start healing this whole place, including even the ones who want to destroy it, is something they never want you to find out until it's too late. So I just want to let you know, this is not pessimistic, this is not hopeless, it's not a case for despair, but to really open up self-awareness of who you used to be, not as a belief, not as a religion, not as a philosophy. Those things are not going to do it. But I mean for real, becoming that again in your experience every day, and then bringing that into your life now. It's the only thing that I've seen that I think could turn this whole situation around for the better. Think about that. If you happen to want to do what's necessary to do the work inside yourself, which is very demanding but very rewarding too. If you want to think way outside the box and you're stable enough and strong enough and brave enough to deal with that, check out planetaryhealingclub.com. I'm there every week live, interactive, and we'll work on this together. I think it's pretty important, and it starts with getting your own body back in shape, getting your health back. We'll talk about forbidden health information that you're never supposed to hear. All from nature, not from magic pills. Not going there to sell you anything. This is real. And really like to have you over there with me if you want. Be nice to see you there every Saturday night, but if you can't make it on that time, just come and join me indirectly via the archives. All the participants have access to all of that too. It's a private platform that won't get banned as quickly as other places that we might be. That's why I can't totally get into it publicly. But if you don't want to be part of that, if you're really not ready, that's fine. You do not want to waste your time on it if you're not ready to drop preconceptions and labels and think way outside the box, because that's where the reality is that's being hidden. If you're up to it, I'd like to see you there. Otherwise, watch for more free videos. I'll do as many as we can. And the regular show Sunday night, the news show Saturday afternoon. Everything coordinated at lostartsradio.com, and the private platform, planetaryhealingclub.com. And I'll see you next time.